Now then, YouTube, the second Farmall BMD, it's actually a Super BMD, arrived. As mentioned in the comments in the last video. We've stripped the wheels off because the front wheels were totally grotty. We've had to replace the front wheels. This is one of the rear wheels. This is the better one of the two. We're going to get it sandblasted and painted. There's just a couple of spots that need welding where it's just gone through, but it's pretty solid other than that. The outside of it's pretty good. Had a job and a half getting the tyre off. We had to use the backhoe and press the tyre down with the back actor on the Case 580. Anyway, we've had a delivery today. Boom! We've got another back rim because one of them's beyond repair. And while we were out shopping, we've got a set of rear wheel weights, 2 sets. We've got a seat for a Farmall H for Dad's H, which you haven't seen yet, and managed to pick up a pair of pretty decent Ford 9M wheels. They're like, you know, like hen's teeth. So these will all be off to the sandblasters to get a coat of paint. Now this is the tractor that was featured in the last video. We've given it a bit of a clean up and we've given it a coat of a wash roll paint conditioner. It's really brought out the red to make it look a lot better. It's turned from the salmon pink. It actually looks more. I'm just looking at it through the phone. It looks more redder in real life than it does through the camera on the phone. But anyway, since it arrived, we've it had a homemade silly battery box and a seat off what could have been a Fergie or a Ford Fergie bolted on, and it was all totally wrong. And I've managed to get a correct seat and a pair of mud guards, which are a very good paint match to the original tractor. We're just in the middle of cutting the edge here, that's why it's a bit of a mess. I've picked up a drawbar because it had a homemade, like a blacksmith made one. I've just had to make the brackets for the mud guards. Now International use dot top bolts on everything. Somewhere there, these are some of the original bolts here. Dot top bolts. So when I made all the brackets for the seat and what have you, I replicated them in the lathe. Anyway, it looks a lot more honest and original now, not molested. Now, I bought these off the same bloke, and this one arrived first, which we were very pleased with, and the other one has got more options on it, but this had a strange dashboard down here, because when the seat's folded down, it's right by your feet and it's difficult to read the amp meter. There's the original IH ammeter, but I didn't know a lot about these tractors. We have 2 petrol H's across the road, but I didn't know a lot about the BMDs or the Super BMDs. Well, it turns out that this one is a BMD with a dash like that, and then the later the next tractor that arrived is the later Super BMD that has like a tin dashboard higher up the steering column. I'll get to that in a minute. But like, the pedals are nice and sharp. The foot plates are nice, no wear patches in them. It's just nice, honest, original tractor. So it's, someone has put stickers on this prior to me getting it, because you can see they should be solid red, but because the paint's faded it's obviously not showing up like that should be a solid red I in the IH, but you can see it's not. So really it could do with the Super deleting from there, because this one is just a BMD. Now this has the American front axle on, but we have a conversion for it to make it into a three-wheeler narrow row cropper like, so I'm half tempted to take that off and put the three-wheeler conversion on, because I was lucky enough to find two original McCormick, a BMD and a Super BMD operator's manual. The grass is dry, we'll just get down here. Now comparing the two manuals, you can't beat having an original, it's a lot better than a photocopy. Look at that dash down there. And that is for the BMD. Now the next tractor, which we'll get onto in a second, really I should have had the pages marked out ready. That's got the dash, the tin dash higher up the steering column, which this tractor has, that we're about to look at next. So that's confirmed to me, and the battery box. Look at the battery box. And that's the Super BMD. See the tags missing off the tractor I've just shown you. Now it's looking a lot better than it did when it arrived. It was just rust. I managed to get some new rims for it. It had the new tyres on the old scruffy rims, but they were too far gone. They were just gone. So after a good clean up and then a couple of coats of a Waterol paint conditioner, it's looking a lot more authentic, shall we say. I've managed to get a seat for it, another seat, so it looks a lot more correct, because that's just horrendous, that thing. But this one, it's got the added, well, it's like a deluxe one. It's got the hydraulics, the oil tank under the tank. This tractor's on the old band brakes, like the Farmall H and petrol M's, and then this is on disc brakes. But this one has got the hydraulics on the back. Now this was a bit of a luxury, this, back in its day. It was a optional extra. So I have picked up another pair of mud guards or fenders for this, so as we can get the brackets made up, and because I just don't like them without the fenders. But again, pedals are nice and sharp. And it's this is the worst of the two rims. It's a bit mangled out of shape on the inside and a bit rotten, but we've got all the original dash. Obviously the wiring's a mess, needs sorting out. We do have the date VIN tag on this one. And as you can see, Super BMD. You can just make out Farmall with the IH badge. They're just honest, they're not messed around with. So you can't beat having your wheels right, then you know you're good to go up the road with it then. Now here I managed to pick up some original brochures for the Super BM. This is actually a petrol one, but it does show the dash, the battery. That's the seat. There we go. Real IH history. Now, but this is why I wanted this one. This actually shows it with the unusual linkage, what you've just seen out on the tractor. So, you know, drawings like this are priceless when you're trying to recreate and get everything back original. You can see how it was. And also it shows the single wheel as an option. Well, we have this, Cassie. I just managed to pick up a brand new tyre off eBay that a guy had bought and never used. So I just had to send to the States to get an inner tube for it, because the tubes are like non-existent over here. I've even looked at like forklift size tyres and just cannot find them. The only place I could find them was Miller Tire over in the States. But when you've got the machine, it's nice to have the original paperwork with them as well. And then this one as well, BM and BMD. But again, it shows the wheel weights, the way the axle should be. This is actually a petrol one. Your farming can be made easier, faster and more profitable the Farmall way. And again, it shows a single wheel. So I'm quite tempted to make one of the one with the American axle on into, I think originally it might have been like that, and then someone's just had an old axle off a petrol American M and just stuck that on it to make it a wide front. But like, I wouldn't mind making it like that because it was a factory option. And then we've got specs for the BM vaporizing oil or distillate engine. And then over here, this is where our section is, the BMD engine, a great new diesel. And then it gives all the specs for them, all the speeds. (16.25 miles per hour). Belt pulley size 11" by 7.5" face. And the dimensions and weight. And then the capacities. See, you can just see, like, you know, recreating all the drawbar because of getting rid of the blacksmith homemade thing, farm made thing. You know, it's just priceless. I could do with a metal pulley if anybody knows where there is one. And this is the lift all. This is the other kind of linkage that was available for them. A bit more cumbersome. Worked off the old belly pump. And then this, the International Harvester Doncaster Works. Now places like that have just gone from this country now. It's a shadow of its former self. The world was a better place when places like that were open. I was quite lucky when I got them brochures, because I managed to get these for some of the other tractors that we've got. So they're for another story though, we don't want to get too off track. So anyway, that's a quick update on the BMD, and yeah, I'll keep you posted when we do a bit more to it. Thanks for watching.